I mean, I could try to do both at the same time. I'd rather not. Please don't make me do that. All right, all right. We're seeing some Q&A spams in the chat. So, all right, hit me with your questions. I'll take them. The first one I see, I'll just answer it, and then when I'm done answering it, to spam questions again, and I'll eventually just get through all of them. It's right now 3:40 where I'm at. I definitely want to give enough time to see all of your questions, at least answer a majority of them, because you guys could probably go on forever from asking me what did I do to get good at Stick Empires to what's my favorite color and how do you feel about Donald Trump. So I mean, try to keep it relative to the game. I mean, I could answer politics, but I mean nobody really likes that. So all right, so we'll go with this one. Why did you quit Stick Empires? Honestly, a big question to ask and a good one, I guess, to start it off. And that would be because the game itself for me wasn't changing. There's no evolution to it. I realized this after completing my last and my largest tournament series, Fire It Up. We were waiting for some news from Crazy J and Brock. They had kind of talked about, well, we have some other projects right now, but we would love to get back into Stick Empires. It's just not, it's not a high priority. And I was like, okay, I respect that. They're making more towards more mobile games because they got to kind of follow the money. It's a business for them. But for me, the game wasn't as interesting because there weren't any updates. When the game was changing, they were progressively, giving us new material, new things to work with. That was changing the meta. It was, we were seeing, game bugs being fixed. That's also important, when you have problems in the game and they exist for a long period of time and they don't get corrected, they don't get fixed. Some game bugs are okay to leave in, like we discovered, as far as like G-kiting, that not necessarily is a glitch, but that wasn't intended to be there, but that adds a unique element to the gameplay that creates strategy. So those things are like good, but things like Turog jumping, things like Blind Gate being absolutely useless, elementals. Those things, when they don't get fixed for a while, it starts to get old. You start to just kind of groan when you see it. So for me, it was not a lot of changes. And because of these changes, it also affected the player base. Stick Empires it's the same community. It's a small community, but there's no new blood in the game. I see there's some new players, I guess, that have taken some new heights on the leaderboards. I think that's awesome. That still shows that there's some meta evolving in the game. But, when there's no changes and there's no mass, outreaching to the game, it's this kind of like folding on itself. That's not good. That's what doesn't create any new, exciting, or anything interesting in the game, So, so I think why did I quit? Because it's an accumulation of all those things, basically. So the game itself, for me, it's fun, but it's not as fun. It doesn't hold the same magic as when I was playing it for years. When I started in November of 2012, October of 2012, actually, to be more specific. I remember just looking up Stick Empires because I was trying to find that Stick War game. The first one I saw, there was a sequel when I was in college, and I was like, oh shit, let me jump on this. So, AC Poo, can I have admin in SE, please? Very good question. Everybody asked me for this. It's a very popular question, so I should definitely answer it. There's a lot of people who have asked me this. Every time I log in, there is at least one, if not multiple, messages sent asking for adminship in Stick Empires. So it's clear that it's an issue to be addressed, and the answer would be no. That's just because as an admin, number one, I can't even if I wanted to. I can't. I don't have the power to. To the developers, this is sliding off. The developers, I think, don't have. They have enough adminship invested into the game. I believe enough for what they want. Because I mean, and when I go on, there's actually usually at least one or two other admins already online, actually. So it's got a pretty good deal going. That's actually, for a game that's kind of like really small, that's actually really good. And they all look to be competent and responsible players. So, is that a super semi in the chat? Holy shit, dude, I haven't seen you in ages. What is up? Dude, so y'all don't know who this motherfucker is. This guy used to kick my ass with Order years ago. I mean, rightfully so. I in turn gave him ass kicking, but this guy was good. This was right after, right after when Corpse was considered number one, and then when I kind of took that position, and I kind of solidified myself as being the best Chaos player, along with being the best player in Stick Empires. I then started to dabble with Order, because I wanted to see, alright, why, Order players were complaining that Chaos was OP. I was pretty much, me and Corpse were the only one that were kind of using it. Miami was still kind of fiddling before he took off, but then there was Demon Days or something like that, who was he was the laggy guy that was kind of in the front, but he was pretty good with Chaos. But I was trying to figure out, okay, there's got to be an answer behind Order beating Chaos, besides just saying Chaos is OP. So, super semi, super solid guy. I play OVO with him, OVC, and this guy was just mad talented. I think he definitely got himself at least ranked top 20, if not top 10 at one point on the leaderboards. So, yeah, anyways, OG guy, I definitely remember his name because I don't forget player names, and definitely somebody like him who is mad good. I have a video on him, WyzDM versus Super Semi, where I think I played him on both grass and ice, CVO and OVO, because it was a big deal to play against him because he was a good dude. So yeah. Wrath of Errors, we want you to talk about Max Chiang. Specifically about, you got to put that more in question form as to, why, what went on with him in Team Zenith, why this guy is such a tool, why do... So... Yeah, Super's good. I watch that a lot. Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite videos for a number of reasons. There's actually a few of those in that series I did. It was just WyzDM versus this, because I loved editing the music to the game too, and specifically in that one, I have a couple times where I just the editing I did. It's very subtle because there's not that much editing because I wanted to focus more on the gameplay, but I really just enjoyed piecing that video together because I thought they were both very, very good games. So I was able to, give light to those. So, are you participating in the tournament this January? Yes, I did sign myself up for that. You can clip this, Twitch bought it, share it, tell your friends, neighbors, your dog, granny, your cat that's watching you across the street. I am participating. Will I do well? Do I plan on winning? Is not the question because that's not on my mind. But participating, showing this game some love, seeing who else is playing, just kind of doing my thing, having some fun, playing some Stick Empires. Yes, I will throw myself in there. So I never signed up. All right, then I will officially sign myself up. I didn't know there was an official place to sign myself up. People just asked, "Hey, there's a tournament going on," and I said, "Oh, cool. I'll go to that." I didn't know there was any official sign up. So, hit me on Discord, Ethan. I'll sign my ass up. So, what do you work? All right, what do I do for work? Yes, because I'm an adult. I have bills. I need money. Right now, I am I'm a chef at Uno's, not the head chef. I'm just like, I guess the title is cook, but I'm the closing chef. So because we're one of the ones that are open super late night, so I go in usually about like 4 or 5 my time, and then I'm there until like 1 at night, 1 in the morning, and so I'm like one of the last to leave with the managers. So Supreme Leader Rain, what's Wiz doing now? Doing this Q&A and working at Uno's. So, yeah. So I make food. Yeah. Same shift even. Yo, respect, dude. Yeah, it's kind of a little funny story because I used to do Subway management, and so I'm actually now I just got a raise not too long ago, so the money is kind of comparable, but I was definitely making more management. But where I was managing, I left just because there was just some inside business stuff I didn't want to get myself too wrapped up in. So that I can't really answer questions on because that's personal, but. Other related store managers were a-holes, and so I just kind of was just like, nah. Ladder was a lag fest. Yeah. So that's another thing. That, again, goes back to why I stopped playing is eventually you get tired of, like, you'll remember this. He was around the same time that I was playing with you, Supra. Do you remember, Torrential? Oh, it was so frustrating playing against that guy. I was like, okay, now I'll move my crawlers with my bombers into his... Oh, no, they all just went into that first sword. No, this is all die. Yeah, even Rain, you remember Super Semi, dude. Yeah, this guy is OG, dude. Y'all don't even know this motherfucker. More servers. Alright, give me some more questions. Oh shit, Rain. Yeah, I love how I'm actually impressed you remember Rain, because he had another account I think he used to play with at that time, but yeah. You said you were going to play the campaign. I did that one time, so technically I did it. Did I complete the campaign or complete the speed run I said I was going to do? No. I mean, I could get back at doing that sometime. You promised me a Montage 5. Okay. I did at one point have a Montage 5 in works. I'll be honest. I had some clips saved. That's as far as I got. I didn't really have anything edited, but I had some Stick Empires clips saved, mostly from the tournaments I was doing, from Fire It Up. And so, yeah. Okay, ranked versus Fasu. Stream this replay BRB. Okay. I mean, yeah, I'll get back to doing replays in a second. So, yep. You live in Canada, right? I do not live in Canada. I'm in New Hampshire. Pretty close to Canada, though. But if you know where Boston or Massachusetts is, it's like right above that. So I'm like south of Maine, north of Massachusetts, west of the ocean, east to Vermont, upstate New York. That's where I'm at. It pretty much like, yeah, if you want to like just drop a land bomb like right on me, yep, that's where I am. Interesting. I live in the United States. Well, yeah, New Hampshire is in the United States, dude. What time is it in your region now? It is currently 3:53 p.m. It is almost 4 p.m. Do you think Stick Empires will ever be updated again? I see, that's the thing. It's been so long, I honestly don't know. I mean, we've given this game so much love. I've given this game so much love. Like, I would throw money at Crazy J. Like, money. If he ever, like, what would need to happen is, like, a different platform. One that, you know, more punishes your own latency than connection with others. So, like, both parties don't suffer. That would be cool to see, because, like, I could use my super high speeds and just demolish everybody, and then when I get outplayed, it's like, because I got outplayed, not because I pressed G, and G didn't happen for 2 seconds, so. Send a message to the devs. They know. I've always asked them, yo, I'd love to play your game and stuff like that. But again, it's a business. They're making more money making mobile apps. They did Stick Legacy. Has your head transmuted into a snapback? It's wait. Are you talking about? So I'm wearing a hoodie over a hat over this broken ass piece of shit that I got for a mic. So that's what I got. I could take the hoodie off, but it's easier holding this broken shit in than yeah. I can try taking the hoodie off though. So there you go. Yeah, so now it looks terrible. See, you got like this wire thing like sticking out. Oh, it's on this side. Yay. Yeah, so. Yeah, it looks like shit. Thanks. Undress. I should have known. Give Zomar an inch, and he'll stick his foot in the door, and he'll just open it all the way. Why did I ever listen to you, Zomar? That's because you always wear snapbacks. Yeah. Well, I like hats. I'm a man of many hats. I have at least a couple dozen hats. Gone wrong, gone sexual. Yeah, Wisdom's live stream, parentheses, gone wrong. I'll be the next iFunny, damn LOL, whatever that YouTube star is that does pranks. Okay, I've messaged the devs before. They plan to continue the Stick War series eventually, but they're working on their own stuff right now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, now I mean, again, it's a business, too. They're making money doing the mobile stuff that they wanted to work on and are still working on. And, again, I totally respect that. That's the way it comes, you know? I'm still waiting for Alvin Earthworm to make Super Mario Bros. Z Episode 9, I think, so. Anyway, do I have any pets? I do not. I was actually looking at getting a cat before Christmas, and then I thought, oh wait, this is before Christmas. Oh yeah, don't I have to do stuff before Christmas, like buy gifts and do everything holiday related? So now that it is after Christmas, I'm thinking about getting a cat. I would really want a dog, but I'm not home enough for a dog. Dogs are, more maintenance, more work. Which I don't mind. It's just stuff I can't put energy in for a dog. If I had a cat, I could just be like, cat, food. Cat does its own thing. Cat, you gonna sleep under the couch tonight? Okay, cool. Night cat, so. I mean, like, he'd be my little love bug. I definitely want a cat that's a little more friendly, It's the worst when you, oh yeah, so I have a cat. Oh, where is he? Well, he's probably hiding, because when he heard you open the door, he became petrified of people and probably left a little wet mark right by the steps over there before he scuttled into the basement, never to be seen in the fifth dimension because of his hiding spots. So, I definitely want a cat that's a little more, open and, like, kind of like, I don't know, or at least like smell you and be like, okay, so you're David, cool. Nice to meet you, David. I'm Cat. Yeah, I know. Cats do their own thing, so. Is Wisdom done doing SE games? I just got home. I will do some Stick Empire games later. Right now I'm doing just Q&A, so. Wait. You have literal confirmed and it will return to the series as a whole. Nothing specific about it, but they are doing more with it later. That is awesome to hear. I didn't actually know that was actually confirmed. I just I always thought that they that they would get back into it. At this point, I was like, I wouldn't say I was doubting it, but it was just kind of like, yeah, if they do it, it's cool. If not, it's whatever. They're doing their own thing. But actually, them confirming, yeah, we'll definitely get back to Stick Empire or something is pretty cool. Have you played any Hotheads yet? Well, I had to play Ace, so. I'm just kidding. What car do you drive? Okay, these questions are not what I thought would be asked from me, but I have a Honda Fit. 2009 Honda Fit. It's so cute. Hey, Now, Ace can kick my ass now, so there's that. I always said, though, like, even when I was the best, everybody was just like, oh, man, dude. And I was just like, yo, I'm not going to be the best for much longer. I mean, besides me just now, like, not caring as much, it's also because I said, like, there's a lot of things in the game that not everyone thinks about yet. That once people start getting into it and thinking about it, especially with micro, with hotkeys, with commands, the amount of with things you can actually do for micro interaction, I'm gonna fall right off because I was good macro-wise, and that's what helped me stay ahead for so long was this macro. But what's my real name? I mean, if for all y'all who haven't stalked me on Facebook yet, it's Johnson. Yeah. Yes, Rain, I see you're at Wisdom. It's the top of the live replays. You should, just in case I don't get to it right now, because I'm going to answer, at least for another like 10 or 15 minutes, some questions. If just get that to me in Discord, just like drop that and just slide that in my DMs. So, what is my phone number? It is 603 area code and 555-5555. Trust me, I'm a professional. Alrighty, after though. Who do you think are the top 5 best players? Alright, so this is actually a great question because so we're talking about like all-time best, like so because like there's best like right now I'm not even sure if I'm the top 5 best, but this would be top 5 right now. So when we're talking about as far as like of all time, like who was like the best 5 like as far as like most influential throughout Stick Empire's history, are we talking about during the golden age? That I would consider that to be I think that would be probably the end of 2014, I think, was when we had the most competition. It was definitely the most like hard-driven year for a lot of players. There was a lot of players who were really making names for themselves. So best overall at their peak. Okay, I like that. That's okay. Best overall at their peak. Because the best guy in 2013, I don't know. Yeah, Captain Corpse would not make the top 5 because while he was definitely like as far as like top 5 for definitely more historical names in Stick Empire's history, because he was one of the first to really get number 1 and also demonstrate chaos. Maybe not number 5, but like it's like 10 most influential. Even at his best, would he not make this 5 list? So. Here we go. 5 of all time would be Khan, Mystery Bat, Zomar, Antis, and I mean, I could throw myself in this group, but I think another good 5 would be Slipknot. Yeah, somebody even put in the chat, Slipknot, man. Yeah, Slipknot, love him or hate him. I mean, sometimes pretty laggy, but I mean, you can't deny he had a natural skill in the game too. He one time, it was in the last Fire It Up tournament bracket. Actually, he beat Zomar and had to play me in winners finals, and he gave me a good run. That guy's good. Yeah. Can you do something about the booster in Stick Empires? I can't. I have no influence over that. I'm sorry. It is what it is. But yeah, back to the top 5 though. Yeah, all those players definitely demonstrated some really could probably win a tournament at any point. Khan has at least 1 tournament title under his belt. Mystery Bat has a couple. Antis, he won I think one of just the monthlies in the Fire It Up series. Let's see. Slipknot again never had any tournament results. But as far as like, he was definitely a player. Whereas like, if I got matched up with him in just a rank game, I'd be like, oh shit, I gotta put my A game on, otherwise I'm gonna get my ass cheesed, So yeah, Mystery Con, Zomar, Antis, and Slip, easy. Yeah. I mean, the only thing I would do again if I was including myself, I think I would just put myself above Slip, but that's it. So yeah, and so yeah, Antis was again he was always pretty good. He didn't have an interest in tournaments, and I would always try to tell him he's an enter. He has a really good stance. He's really talented. He never really had a drive to really get too high on the leaderboard because he was bigger into StarCraft, and he would also just I think surrender against some people. He didn't like playing against some laggy people and stuff like that. But I would play against him, and I could see right away through just his fundamentals from coming from StarCraft, and just his he had a good mind for being able to read into the game pretty well. Yeah, Antis is also very scary. He has a very aggressive part to his game. Plays very similar to Zomar. Both of them have a very similar style with order. The only thing I don't like about Antis is I think it was actually Zomar. Zomar says that Chaos is OP. I think both of them have the same, or almost like the same person, but yeah, they both play very similar. So, WyzDM, I got a replay of you calling Antis a pussy. I mean, that's the one thing Antis does though, is if you beat him early game, he fucking walls right up. But I mean, I've said a lot of things to many people. Some of it I might have meant at the time, but it's just me being competitive, and sometimes you say things you don't really mean because you're either pumped or you're depressed because you won or you lost. So, yeah, he is a staller. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, he stalls hard. he does, but I mean, he's good at it though. I mean, so here's the thing. I know this wasn't asked, but there's definitely I want to say points in this game for offense or defense, as far as you lean one way or the other over. I want to say there's attacking, but there's also how could I say this? There's punish game too, and so but in order to get a punish, you need there's some give and take in the game. You communicate in the game. Mystery Bat played more of a defensive style, but it was more of he was very punish heavy. Whereas if Antis can't get something in the game through early or mid game, he would overly stall, whereas Mystery Bat would be openly trying to communicate while he's playing a little far back. He wouldn't necessarily just completely wall up. He's playing to come at you eventually, whereas Antis is just yeah, so I'm here with Castle Archer 3. I've got a giant up here right now with a couple spear walls and merrics. They'll keep this going for a little bit. You see, you got Tower Spawn 2 coming. Oh, that's great. Hold my beer. We can do this for 15 minutes. I mean, mind you, he's good at what he does, though. You gotta hand it to him, though. He definitely knows, but at the same time, if we're statistically talking about, how to win a game and come back from something, you want to board up until you're full population every time with what you want. That's the way to do it. I mean, I can't hate. This game doesn't give you too many ways to punish somebody for going over time of having a map lead, you can defend yourself pretty good in this game. Castle Archer 3 with walls on order is you got a hard ass defense that there's no real way to break that. So remember that day when OFE was in ranked and you got so pissed? I mean, I got pissed because I lost to OFE. I don't know. I mean, I usually get pissed if I lose in general, so I get pretty salty. So I can't remember any specific time. I can tell you that it's probably happened. Yeah. Can you upload all this to YouTube? Hell yeah, I can. Remember, do you think Order's defensive options are too strong? Ooh, okay, so this is actually just a subject on more on just game meta. It more comes down to those resources. So you have Chaos has those little turrets that shoot stuff. Again, that's meant to be more of like an aggressive form of defense. Order has walls, more of a defenseful defense, and elementals have nothing. So, I mean, is Order's... I think something in that respect would be... I think, yeah, Order's defense, their late game defense, Castle Archer 3, double wall, spear wall, that actually is broken by all rights. Because no other empire has a tool besides waiting for that to evaporate to actually, like, break through with that. Because Tower Spawn 2 is meant to be like the end all. That's to give you like the the giant, and for elementals, because they couldn't think of anything else, it's just a giant. It's the large ass Chirag or whatever. And so that extra giant is supposed to be included outside of your population gap, because you've held that space, you've collected enough gold and mana for that, you should be able to do something with that for a crushing victory. But with Order, you really can't. That one giant is negligible late game because of perma walls and Castle Archer 3. Because you could have somebody, again, with the same number of giants and maybe just like a Magi kill in the back, but because they have a freaking Magi kill, but also a ninja, so your Magi kill can't advance past your wall, because otherwise he'll just get shinobied, and it's hard to click everything because it's lagging. It's like, once your Magi kill is down, then he's free to advance, and you gotta wait for that spawn timer, and if you can't hold space for that spawn timer, then you lose. Or he tries to take out a giant, and then he does, and then the tower spawn comes back in, and then he just retreats back, and then you got to build another giant, because you have gold for it at this point anyway, because you've got 6k waiting, and the cycle just repeats. I've been in 2-hour long games because of this, and eventually to a point where they give up, where you just close out, because it's like not even worth it at that point. So, WyzDM, you just gave me a boner. I'll take that as a compliment. I'm not intending to give anybody any sexual excitement from this subject, but yeah, are Order's defensive options too strong as a whole? Yes, absolutely. You heard it from me. But again, the game has a lot of things that are way too strong too. It's just part of the game. So you gotta have some imbalances to give a competitive element. But I do think that's something where I would like to see, if there's any fix to happen in the game eventually, that would be addressed. I think Elementals should have something more unique than a giant Chirag. I also think they should have another research ability that Order and Chaos also have. Chaos has turrets, Orders has walls. Why don't Elementals have something, Maybe it's like a puddle or like quicksand that like slows units that walking through them. I don't really know. I think Elementals should just be redesigned to fit more naturally with the other empires, whereas instead of trying to combine them, you just build them normally, but they're based off of elements, I like that they wanted to do something different with the combination idea, but I don't think it fits well in the universe of the game. I don't think the elements of the gameplay and the pace of how the battles work, where it's ever resourceful to combine population into a smaller populated unit, even if that unit is by technical means stronger. When I play Elementals, I don't make any combinations at all unless I absolutely have to, because everything in their base form should be doing more work than that combined form because of population numbers. Yeah, Chaos turrets are strong if you use them, but they don't actually do enough, to be honest. I would like that changed slightly too. There's a lot of things where I have a lot of ideas for the game. If I would like to see changed to, give it more balance, but also more imbalance in some areas, to be able to harder punish some mistakes, but also able to properly defend and attack. I don't know. Invulnerability when building them. Yeah, that's the thing. Like walls take damage, but towers don't when you start building them. That's pretty stupid. The miner, and that's the thing. When miners build them and the miner dies, then the tower just stays like half upright and it never really gets finished and it never does anything, and you just have this useless block of health. So nerf the fuck out of trees. Just rework elementals. Like don't ask me questions about elementals like as for what they are now, because the entire empire should be reworked. Trees aren't that bad, but they need to be changed from what they are. The whole combine again, and it goes back to the combination process and what they give. It's just like Ellie is banned for the tournament. Darn, I was actually going to play elementals in the tournament. Low key, I just told somebody that because I was like, I'm pretty bad with order and chaos. But you know what? I bet I could pull out some elementals out of my ass because nobody knows how to play against elementals well, and I got some cheesy ass strats. Some of you have seen my elementals. They're hit and miss, but that's exactly what I was going to run with, just going for hit and miss. So, since the game is kind of bad, the rules are constantly changing. I mean, I don't know what that means. I feel like the rules, as far as like tournament rules, are constantly changing. I don't know. I set up a pretty good standard for rules in my tournaments, and I never really changed from those. I never deviated from those. The only two things I did like outside of the own in-game rules was like from like don't use bugs and stuff like that, was I set a time limit just to help games pace faster and stuff like that. Maybe we can commentate replays after the tournament. Yes, I'd totally be down for that. We got any more questions? It's about 4:15, so I'll take a few more, and then I'll go back to doing some replays. I know Rain's got a replay he wants me to look at, and you guys were sending forth a lot of replays earlier, so take some questions. Do you ever get jealous of Mystery as far as his play skill? I mean, Mystery, Khan, Antis, they all have really good skill each in their own right. I mean, I can't say I'm like jealous for each of them, but I respect that. Could you rank Khan, Mist, and yourself? Like who? I think there's been times where each of us have been better than each other at some other point. To be honest, like. We've all been talented. I mean, we're all talented. Me, not so much. But in our prime, who was ever better? I mean, it's hard to say. I think the only thing you can go off of, which would be results, and I've beaten all of those players more time in tournament. Take it as that. I don't think at the same time. I mean, like there have been plenty of times where they've beaten me in tournament, but. Why isn't there any stick empire? Yeah, why isn't there any stick empire report? Come on, guys. Rule 34. We got to get working on that. We're a community here. We aren't servicing the internet rules. We need an artist and an animator. I know. But somebody, please pay this man. How good of a player do you think I am? Well, after watching your last replay, I thought you performed really well. There are some things you could work on, but I mean, overall, you have a pretty good idea as to, how to answer certain things. You play pretty aggressively. You like attacking early, and you know that being on the offensive is better than being on the defensive. And that's a big thing to understand. No matter what, if you are able to do edge the other player to show that I can fight you at more times than you can, huge. Because that means you can win more battles than he can. If you're trying to fight him more times than he is, you will eventually win a fight that's too big for him to come back from. Would you like to play Khan again in an OVC? I mean, I like to play any of those players again. Playing against them is fun. Khan's definitely a good player. I mean, I've only beaten him a handful of times, and I mean, one of those times I managed to do as order in that one tournament set up from Sons of Saint back when they were a clan. But yeah, he is, holy shit, Khan is a Chaos God. Yes, indeed. Definitely one of the few other Chaos players to really put in results in bracket besides myself. That's the other thing. Everybody says Chaos is OP, and then you look at the statistics, and it's like, wait a second, it shows Order winning more tournaments. But Khan's the only other person besides me to really place high with Chaos. So, yeah. You said he lagged it. I mean, he did, yeah. I mean, but like again, like I'm talking about like just playing again. It's just like a sense of playing again. Like, I mean, it's happened for everybody. You know, there's been times where I played Mystery Bad and sometimes it was laggy, and we've both just been like, what the hell is this? You know, it's just like, but like we have a mutual understanding that's just like it is what it is. You know, it's just like his ping was consistent. Once you're used to it, you're used to it. Yeah, I mean, there was a few times where like some of it, sometimes it was bad, sometimes it was good, but more often than not, it was okay. We could show a full day of our CVC. Yeah, kind of just I'm laying it off. I mean, I've done the same. Like, no John's here. I've definitely just like flipped out, just like lag. You know, it's just it's all because like you get to a point where when you start playing, it's like it really like you really want to see results at high level. Like let's face it, when you're even getting closer to the top and you're not getting the results you want to see, you just start like looking for, oh, why didn't this happen? And it's harder sometimes to look at yourself because it's always easier to just like look at everything else around you. Do you plan on ranking with Chaos like the good old days? I don't know. You're right. Since I've been playing since I come back, it's just pretty much just been Order, and some of that is just because Chaos gameplay again is harder than people give credit for. I like to try and use wings, not to spam deads. I mean, deads are pretty good to use sometimes, but like even my timings for mana and stuff like that, it's different with that Empire. Order, the pace seems to be more natural because Order is simply put the most balanced empire as far as like what each unit does, and each unit has a purpose and like how to settle that purpose. Chaos's one purpose is what is Order doing that I can completely cuck because I have the answer against it in one toolkit or another, and managing to try and squash that. But late game they can't beat Order. That's the thing people don't know. Early game Order can beat Chaos. Mid game Chaos thrives on punishing Orders for their build because Chaos should be responding to, okay, the Order's going into more archers, I build more deads. Okay, Order's trying to build Albatross, I just build, I build deads with some wings and bombers, ton of bombers, just blow them up out of the sky. That stuff like that. Medusa late game, that will beat, Spiritans. Medusas will technically beat Shinobis because you can stone them before they can cloak. Unless if they cloak, they shouldn't be able to get to you in time. Puddle Mass locks up the areas. The only thing that, and the Giants too, they're bigger and they're healthier. The only thing is, Order has the reins. So when you get to late game, when you get to 80-80 pop, if you aren't controlling the center game as Chaos, you lose. Because you need that meat shield. If you don't have a meat shield for Order's ranged attacks, you're dead, son. You're dead. You're done goofed. So. WyzDM, are you single? I am. I am single. I am a single Pringle. Yes. I've had girlfriends in the past, but right now I'm just rocking with just me. Me, myself, and I. Loading 10k replays is goddamn bad. How do you even have that many saved? I wish I saved some of my older replays, like somewhere to look through them, like in a paste bin or folder, but like, I put some in a paste bin, but then I'd just like forget about them and I'd forget the links somewhere. Never really saved anything outside of that. There's like a lot of games, like for historical purpose, I would love to like bring up and commentate over and stuff like that. How old are you? I am 25. "25 years young." Kidding with y'all. I feel like I'm gonna start graying soon. It's just weird, just because Like, I don't know. For some reason, like, I'm 25, but like I have a small circle of friends, and it's only grows smaller when you get older. But that's another story. But like, I think the oldest in that group is like 24. Otherwise, they're like 22, 23. So I'm old granddad wisdom. When wisdom is 9 years older than you, yeah, but that's fine, dude. You want to stay young. You've got all your life to live, dude. When you get this old, you just start understanding more of how the world works. You see some things, and it ain't pretty, yo. You get bored of the shit real fast. Oh man, you all saying that I'm 16 here, same. Ah, jeez, dude. What I would do to be that young again, man? Y'all in high school thinking you've seen it all. You ain't seen shit. Been playing stick and versus real. Yeah, back in my day, we had real sticks to play with. Wisdom, I am dwarf-tastic. Oh, hey, dude, I think we just played one earlier on the live stream. MZG's, dude. You were the Chaos players, I remember that. Do another drunken shirtless stream. Well, that's not a question, but I mean, I have no object to that. I would need this setting to be right for it, though. I'm not just suddenly, I'm back, and just start stripping and drinking beer, but, I have Slipknots. Nah, you're fine, dude. Don't worry about it. It's just the game, dude. At this point, it's just how the game operates. I don't even blame anybody for it. Like, it's not... Both players are on the other end just going, oh, man, this lag sucks. And you either make it work or you don't. That's just how it is, so... Suddenly, and there's nobody to get rating from now. Suddenly, the climb becomes a crawl. I mean, it was always that way for me if I was ever ranking. And that's why I made tournaments, because... Like, I held a rank spot for so long, whereas, like, the crawl was, like, not worth it for me anymore. I would play more for, like, just the interactions with other players, not to actually get rank 1 again or stay rank 1, you know? So, yes, I did see you. Yeah, it was, again, nice. It was nice playing you, dude. Dward-tastic? Yeah, I think you played Chaos against me, so... What are your thoughts on alternate Mark? I think that's Gaze Mail or that guy who complains against Chaos. And he's a mathematician and he's married and he knows that Chaos is OP. It can be proven mathematically. He's an interesting fellow. I think some things he's right on, but as far as the saying that Chaos as a Empire overall is just, it's OP. It's just a bad mentality. I think he's like a pretty good player, but like I don't know if he worked on just accepting some things for what they are and like opening to try new things other than just raging and cussing at everybody who does something better than him. It's just not a good. What's the fuck you? I'm not alternate Mark. Yeah. I think he's good, but like he should chillax a little more. I don't know, maybe take some Advil before he plays. I don't know. That's why you boost, yeah, right? Better boost Stick Empires again. Oh man, start uploading to your channel more. Yeah, I'll break some of this stuff up. I'll upload and stuff like that. Was Brock a MLG pro back in the day? He was actually a really good player. I enjoyed playing against Brock, and I couldn't play against him often. I remember when he was changing some things about order, because like swords used to be 150, archers were 350, I think. Just like fucking mad expensive, and he was like, hey, we made some changes to the order on this server. You want to play some with me? And I was like, hell yeah! And like, he was doing some cool stuff. Gave me a lot of cool ideas for like the game and stuff like that. But MLG Pro, no. He was mad good though. He fuck you up. What are your thoughts on Killer Aha? I think that dude's lame. I think he needs to stop being a phobe to Muslims, and like I'm not a Muslim, but like he offends me as far as like just being a total tard muffin to like try to put that in his username and just like like I don't know, just there's some things you just keep to yourself, and also maybe work on stop using Walmart Wi-Fi. Like yeah. I know I played against him and like he sends his spears out towards my archers. He's like, "That's okay, I'll just G kite here." Oh yeah, that's right, I forgot I can't. And like my archers are just getting wrecked by spear tints, and I'm like, no. Yeah. Yeah, less of a tard muffin, more of just being a player. Like, he's actually not that bad at the game. That's like what's sad is like I'm trying to beat him because like I feel like I need to like really prove to him that like he's a tard, and I'm like playing and I'm like I have to like really try to win because like the guy's good. So what do you think of the two? I mean, what I think about any booster right now is you're a dog pile of shit. I mean, the reward for that is its own reward. It's like congratulations, you gave yourself something that you didn't work for. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's not impressive to see that name there. That's honestly like the name of shame at this point. Like everybody knows what you did. You know what you own did. If you want to brag on that, well then congratulations to you. You're only bragging to yourself. Like the real leaderboard starts right after your name, son. So yeah, it's the name of shame. So that's how I look at the leaderboard. It's like, oh, so this is the these are the shitters of the game, and then after that is the real skill people of the game. So can I commentate replays with you someday so I can upload again to my stagnant channel? Like I can message you on Discord? Sure, dude. I'd be down for that. All right, are we doing replays again? Then it's 4:30. I think you guys have asked me a lot of questions. I've said a lot about myself. Haven't really said anything about was okay. I gotta see this Wisdom's Army versus Wisdom. I bet I get